Number 6, attitude polarization bias. This explains why conversations don't just fail. They often make people more extreme. The same facts, the same experiment. This person is going away with something supporting the opposite. The same thing, this person is going away with something supporting the opposite. An example is when you look at the judgments given by courts around political parties in our climb recently. The court will say something, the two factions or three factions of the political party will say that the court was saying something in their favor, and it goes on to reinforce what they already believe. We call it biased assimilation. They take the same thing, but they do what? They take what they want to take to support what they are already saying. In this case, you always meet a cul-de-sac. Nobody is yielding and everybody is right. It happens in a lot of things. An example is when two persons are looking at the same fact and they are in opposing, mental state. But this one says this fact is supporting what I'm saying, and this one is saying this fact is supporting what I'm saying because of perspective and vantage point. Some salesmen were sent to a country. One went to the northern, the other went to the southern part. Now, the northern part were not wearing shoes, the southern part were not wearing shoes. Now, the company that sent them is a shoe manufacturing company. So the one at the northern part said, these people are not wearing shoes. I'm coming back the next morning with the next available ship. The one that is on the southern part says, these people are not wearing shoes. I want you to send me shipload of shoes so that by tomorrow morning I will start talking to them about shoes, and then I will start selling shoes to them. Yeah. So you see the same thing, but it polarizes. So attitude polarization is a tendency for people to strengthen their original beliefs after being exposed to mixed or opposing evidence or the same of evidence. Now, in simple terms, instead of moving closer to the truth, people move further into their existing position. So the same information does not bring people together. It pushes them apart. Okay? Now, it happens in business. It happens in relationship. So imagine a leadership team reviewing data about new strategy. Some people are already believe that the strategy will work. Others are skeptical. But when the facts are presented, both of them now said, that's what I'm telling you. From this fact, you can already see it will not work. Those optimistic become more convinced it will succeed. Those who are pessimistic become more convinced it will fail. The point is that it is just biased assimilation. They are seeing it from a particular spectacle, so it means quite different things to them. Each side interprets the same, evidence in a way that reinforces what they already, believe. The same in relationship. It shows up during argument. Two people discuss an issue, each bring their own perspective. Instead of understanding each other better, both sides leave the conversation more entrenched in their belief. They think, I am right, you are wrong. Why is it that you are not seeing what I'm saying? Why is it that you are made up in your own way? Why is it that the more they talk, the more certain they feel that they are right and the other person is wrong? Why communication increases, the talk is high, but understanding decreases at every point. You see, so how do you manage? You already know how to manage attitude polarization. In your mind, you know what to do. The first step is to recognize that more information is not always the solution. It is to change your vantage point, to change your perspective. So if the mind is already committed, new information will often be filtered and then goes back to meaning the same, biased assimilation. It is not absorbed, but it is biasly assimilated. In business, one useful approach is to separate evaluation from debate. If you can win the debate, but you won't win the money. Let people assess information independently before discussing it as a group. This reduces the pressure to defend a position in real time. And also, if you're a leader there, the blue hat, I think, make it comfortable for people to change their mind. It's also important you deliberately ask this question: what evidence would change my position? What evidence? Mean it, ask it as a genuine question. Also know that this other person making his or her point is right. This other person making his or her point is not stupid. So that's the same thing. So in relationship, the goal should shift from, I want to win the argument to, well, let me understand what this person is saying first. So before responding, try to state the other person's position clearly enough so that you can understand it and see what the person means. This slows down the instinct to defend and reduce escalation because you're understanding where the person is coming from. So actually polarization is powerful because it hides behind the idea of discussion. But not all discussions lead to clarity. You must understand that. I don't argue myself. So when you learn to manage how you engage with opposing views, your thinking becomes more balanced. You see, the decision that will come out of your thinking will become more grounded, and your conversation will become more productive, not just winning arguments. You can win argument and lose money. So that is very important. The goal is not always to prove a point. You know, the goal could be to be successful in this thing we are saying, to move forward, to get things sorted out. Yeah, let it not always be I can always argue and win. You can win the argument like professors in the university. You may not win the money. Professors are my colleagues, so we do